What is going on, guys? Insane Juggernaut back with another video. Got something a little bit different, man. Wanted to have a conversation with you guys. I know a lot of fans in the Madden mobile community generally don't have a great understanding of players' rights and the constant evolution of the type of legends that we get in Madden each year. So I kind of want to make a video clearing that up. Also, develop a little bit of nostalgia, kind of go back and look at some of the dominating legends that we had in the past years. So that's what this video is about, man. We're gonna talk about players' rights, and we're gonna talk about kind of the trends I've been seeing in the type of legends that we've had each year after year. So I'm starting off with Madden Mobile 15 because that's the last full year that Mudhead has been doing the databases for Madden Mobile, and I actually seen some pretty interesting stuff. So let's get into it. Madden Mobile 15. Actually, before we get into that, let's just kind of clear up, why we have certain legends who are in the game, not in the game, in the game, not in the game. So EA has a deal with the NFLPA, and what that deal says is that EA can use players with active agreements with the NFL, even if you're a free agent. If you have an active agreement with the NFL, then you can be used. Your likeness can be used in Madden, which is the actual game, as well as Madden Mobile, right? So there's that. That's how you see the active players. You see the guys who have retired, or they're not retired, but the guys who are free agents currently still being available in Madden Mobile, right? Legends and retired players are paid individually. So every single legend who no longer has an agreement with the NFL, a great example, Charles Woodson, he doesn't have an agreement with the NFL anymore. They would have to make a deal with Charles Woodson individually to get his likeness in the game. Walter Payton is passed away, so they would have to make a deal with his family for his likeness, or whoever owns his likeness at that point. It's a very complicated process when you have a player that's deceased, but those are kind of all the things that tie into what players we see in Madden Mobile. So starting with Madden Mobile 15, we had 63 legends. Okay, when I look at the list, some of the guys that were in Madden Mobile 15 that we kind of don't see anymore: Otto Graham, Troy Polamalu, Isaac Bruce, Tracy Porter, Dion Branch, just kind of looking at the list. Chris Carter as well. Joe Montana. And I have an interesting kind of thought about Joe Montana and kind of a trend I've been seeing, but we're going to go back to Joe Montana in a little bit. Yeah, Joe Montana for sure. Just kind of looking through the list. Am I missing anybody? Mike Webster. We all know Mike Webster and Joe Montana are special cases. So we're gonna talk about Joe Montana and Mike Webster. Gene Upshaw, John Mackey. Yep, seen those guys go away as well. Dave Casper, Steve Larden, haven't seen much of them either. Sammy Baugh, George Blanda. Yep. Plaxico Burress is a big one. Haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah. But there were 63 legends in Madden Mobile 15. Joe Montana, this was Joe Montana's last year in Madden Mobile as well as normal Madden. And the reason it was the last year was because Joe Montana began working on Joe Montana Football, which people were super hyped about. They thought that this game was going to be able to combat Madden and bring competition back. They thought it would be similar to 2K. They were at E3 2015, made big spectacle. Everybody was super excited about the game. Then it turned into, oh, okay, this is going to be a mobile game. Ended up being a super trash, mobile game. It never released. It was a demo that they let some players play. No one was impressed with it. Now it is currently being sold as a VR game. That's what they're coining it as. It's going to be a VR game now. So that was a complete crash and fail. But after Joe Montana started working on that game, he was no longer in Madden anymore, which is why people thought that Joe Montana Football would be able to kind of bring some competition to Madden, since the exclusive license that Madden had with the NFL expired, but that didn't work out at all. Mike Webster, his name has been synonymous with the whole CTE uh, argument that's been going on. And, I'm sure that Mike Webster's family doesn't have a great relationship with EA right now. And that's the reason why you haven't seen him in the game. So, um, it's a big deal there. Mike Webster and Joe Montana kind of, you understand what's going on with those guys. But long story short, Madden Mobile 15 has 62 legends. Looking at the list for 2016, there were 61 new legends. Now, when I say legends, legends are people who are already retired in my eyes and are in the game. So if you're under the legend tier, like say a Larry Fitzgerald legend card, I'm not counting that card as a legend. If you're a player that's retired and in the game, that's who I consider a legend. So a Madden Mobile 16 had 62 guys, so down one. And the most interesting thing I saw was 35 of these 62 legends were new. So 35 of them were new. Notable new ones equal Curtis Martin, Rondé Barber, Peter Boulware, Terrell Davis, Hines Ward was new. I'll count Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday was always in the game, but Jeff Saturday, Ty Law was new, Reggie Wayne was new, Willie Roaf was new. You don't see him in the game anymore. This is Sean Taylor's first year. Zach Thomas as well, Donovan McNabb, Tony Gonzalez, Herman Moore. So a lot of new guys came this year. And I think the reason why you saw a lot of new guys come with Madden Mobile 16 was just the overall relationship between EA and the players. It was something that they worked on heavily in 2016 because of what was going on with 2015 and the talks of Joe Montana football and how Joe Montana was supposed to be poaching a lot of legend players away from EA. That was what people thought was going to happen. They thought that Joe Montana would poach a lot of legends from EA. That game didn't come into fruition. You saw a lot more new legends sign with EA. And, it's pretty interesting. I'm kind of looking at the list of guys who weren't in the year after that were in the year before. And it's a lot of notable guys I named. No Troy Polamalu. I don't know what's going on with Troy Polamalu at all. A lot of the legends, like old legends, like Otto Graham, George Blanda, this is their only year. And I already mentioned Plexico. He wasn't there. Deacon Jones was one of the notable returnees. Deacon Jones came back. Night Train Lane was back. Mean Joe was back. But 35 new guys, that was a miracle that EA had to pull off because a lot of the guys from the year before just did not re-sign for the next year. Ditka either. I don't think Ditka re-signed. Nope. Ditka did not re-sign. The Sharp brothers did. But there's just a lot of guys that were missing, and I'm kind of like trying to understand, does it have anything to do with Joe Montana's relationship with EA? I feel like that's the only thing that points to the trend. But EA apparently did a great job with player relations to get 35 new guys. So 2016, 35 new guys, and pretty much the same amount of legends, 62. So going into Madden Mobile 17, wow. 67 legends for Madden Mobile 17, 42 of them new guys, 42. So EA had to work really hard, man. And, I hear a lot of guys complain. They're like, there's not as many legends in the game now as there used to be. But you're looking at the trend, every single year, it's either flatlined or it's going up, and they're adding a lot of new guys. You notice the main, I would say the most like creative aspect of Madden Mobile 17 was, I think also the worst promo of Madden Mobile 17, or not maybe the worst promo, but the one that had the biggest potential that EA just screwed up with big time, and that was a Canadian football promo. They added Joe Theismann, Jeff Garcia, Mike Vanderjet, and Flutie. Those are new legends, by the way, just from the Canadian Football League promo. And they were all 80 overalls, like 80-something overalls that were like super hard to get. So EA screwed up big time with that promo. But gotta salute to them for adding those guys and having a great idea with the promo. Just poor execution, man. Super poor execution. Kevin Green is also new. This is Larry Wilson's first year, and Larry Wilson's kind of a staple now. He's one of the more consistent guys that you will see. Shockey was new. This is Champ Bailey's first year. Willie McGinnis is new. Marcellus Wiley makes me wonder, why is Marcellus Wiley not in this year's game? Marcellus Wiley is obviously doing a lot of television with ESPN right now. I don't understand why Marcellus Wiley wouldn't sign with EA. Is EA just not opening up the checkbook for these guys? I feel like EA is more than likely just skimping on how much they want to pay these guys. I don't understand why Marcellus Wiley isn't in Madden Mobile 18 anymore. But Howie Long, Bruce Matthews, first year in Madden Mobile was the same year his son Jake Matthews entered the NFL, so that's an interesting note there. Bruce Matthews as well. Looking at new guys, Ed McCaffrey. I think that was same year as a Christian McCaffrey, or same year as Christian McCaffrey. So that's pretty dope as well. Too Tall Jones first year. Paul Krause came back. Randy Moss. This is his first year in mobile. Him and T.O. were in Madden Ultimate Team 12. That's why I'm kind of like lacking an understanding of like the relationship between mobile and the actual game. Like Paul Warfield is a new legend in Madden Ultimate Team. Why is he not in mobile? He's in Madden Ultimate Team for this year, right? So why is he not in the mobile game? Why are some of the legends that are on console not on mobile? So that's a question that can't be answered. But just continually looking down the list of legends from Madden Mobile 17. First off, that spike from 62 to 67 is very notable. And 42 new guys is super notable as well. Kind of shows a growing relationship between EA and these legends, and how willing they are to acquire new guys. Bob Sanders is new too. He goes along the conversation with Randy Moss and Terrell Owens, guys who were on Madden Ultimate Team in the past, but this was never on mobile. Wonder where Bob Sanders is. Why isn't he in mobile now? So I don't think the biggest question is EA and if they can acquire talent. The biggest question is, can they maintain talent, and why guys are only signing for 1 year and not wanting to re-sign with EA after a year. And maybe that also goes into player relations. EA is obviously able to acquire these guys, but not able to maintain and hold on to these guys, because you notice such a trend in how many new guys there are each year. And we're gonna get into that. Also more new guys. This is Willie Brown's first year. Kevin Y isn't here anymore. Marvin Harrison is good. Jack Youngblood, he's not here anymore. Ricky Williams isn't in the game this year. Sam Madison is in the game. Dallas Clark is in the game this year. Dallas Clark is like one of my favorite tight ends of all time. He's not in the game this year, man. Randy White, defensive tackle from the Cowboys. He's not in the game this year. Lawyer Malloy, I don't think he's in the game this year either. Antonio Freeman, this is Shad Johnson's first year. Ray Nitschke is in the game this year. He's another guy who was in Madden Ultimate Team 2012. Let's see, Marcus Allen. And this is far as first year as well, as well as Leroy Glover. So EA acquired a lot of talent this year with Madden Mobile 17, but they just weren't able to maintain a lot of these guys. You notice a lot of these guys that were in 17 aren't here anymore. Jeff Garcia isn't here anymore. Joe Theismann isn't here anymore. Mike Vanderjagt isn't here anymore. Doug Flutie isn't here anymore. Baselli didn't transfer from 17 to 18. McNair didn't transfer from 17 to 18. Max Strong didn't transfer from 17 to 18. Ozzie Newsome didn't transfer from 17 to 18. There's just so many guys that they acquired in Madden Mobile 17 that did not make the cut in Madden Mobile 18. So it kind of makes me wonder, what's going on with player relations, why guys aren't continuing their contracts with EA, or why they aren't signing for more than 1 year, or, whatever the case is there. Obviously, EA would put in as much legends as they possibly could in the game if they could, and guys just apparently aren't wanting to sign. And this goes to the most interesting aspect of this video so far. The guys I consider legends, EA had 79 legends in Madden Mobile 18 this year. 79 legends. So by far the most legends this year. Only 21 new, though. Only 21. So that's a bit of a concern. When you go to 15 transitioning to 16, there was 35 new. 16 transferring to 17, there was 42 new. So you have this kind of graph trend that's going up, 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 and then it's like a roller coaster ride down for 17 and 18. After 17 went up to 42, shoo, 18 goes down to 21. So maybe this was in response to, the question of could EA, hold talent, and they held a lot of talent. A lot of these guys are from the past years. Some of the notable names that they held: Ogden, Strahan, Sean Taylor, Willie Brown. Most of the guys from last year, um, not last year, Mad Mobile 16, are still here. Some of the guys aren't, such as Walter Payton, Hines Ward. A lot of the guys I mentioned from 17 who didn't make it, but they're a pretty good job. Let's look at some of the new guys. They did have some new guys. Trevor Price just came out. Larry Little is new. Mel Renfro is new. Herschel Walker is new. Wycheck is new. Who else is new? Rod Smith, first year here. Earl Campbell is new. Troy Vincent is new. But there are just not many new names here. Eric Allen is new. Just not many new names here. And I think we're getting to a point where you're going to see that trend continue. There's going to be less and less new acquisitions of players. EA's main goal is, in my eyes, trying to maintain the legendary talent that they have signed to their roster. When you have 79 different legends, by the way, I meant to mention Harold Carmichael, right, as well. He's new. When you have 79 different legends, that's an expensive payload, man. They might look to kind of offset some costs by getting rid of some of these guys as well, actually. They paid John Madden $2 million just to use his name yearly. So it kind of goes into the question of how much does each of these legends get paid, and is it realistic for us to assume that we're going to have 79 legends in Madden Mobile 19? That's a huge spike from the year before. That's 12 new legends. So, from what I've seen, I don't think that Megatron is going to be in the game next year. Just trying to think of guys who may not be in the game next year. A lot of the guys who are new, you notice a lot of times the trends that end the most are the new guys. The guys who are new don't make it. In Mammo 16, Curtis Martin was new. Greg Lloyd was new. Leroy Glover was new. These guys just don't make it. Roy Williams was new. Clinton Portis only lasted 1 year. How disappointing was that? Clinton Portis only lasted 1 year. Jeff Saturday only lasted 1 year. Most of the new guys don't make it. Gilbert Brown, Christian Okoye, they didn't make it past their respective years. Hakeem Nicks and Ty Law didn't make it. Literally every single name that I have new beside, most of them just didn't make it. Andre Johnson didn't make it as well. So the trend you're seeing is that EA is acquiring guys more for a shock factor, and they're just not holding these guys from year to year. I think what EA is trying to do is just kind of get as many names as they can. And with the focus not as much being on acquiring new talent going into Madden Mobile 18, it'll be interesting to see whether EA puts an emphasis on holding on to talent or acquiring new talent. Because from Madden Mobile 15 to Madden Mobile 16, the emphasis is acquiring new talent. From Madden Mobile 16 to Madden Mobile 17, the emphasis is acquiring a new talent. From Madden Mobile 17 to Madden Mobile 18, the emphasis was holding on to players. Based on what I've seen, some of these guys are contracts that they renewed. Kurt Warner was a contract that was renewed from a way back previous game. I think he was missing last year and he came back. You see a lot of these contracts being renewed. That's a good thing. I want to see legends stay in the game, but the problem is, are they actually going to be able to hold on to these guys? Is it realistic to think that they'll be able to hold on to these guys? I don't think it's realistic that they're going to hold on to 79 guys. I'm glad that they get Ed Reed back, though Ed Reed was missing last year and he came back. But I don't think they're going to be acquiring much more new talent. So I don't want anyone to assume that we're going to be getting new guys every single year. It just doesn't seem realistic. I think, yeah, 79 Legends this year, that number might go down to 69-ish. And we might see, from the numbers I'm looking at right now, we might see anywhere between 18 and 24 new guys. I think emphasis is going to be on holding on to talent, and I think that's kind of the emphasis we're going to see from EA for the future. We do know one new legend 100% for sure, and that's Terrell Owens. So Terrell Owens being on the cover, it's going to be interesting to see him in Madden Mobile. But that's about it, man. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know kind of your outlook on the trend of legends and kind of, the pool of legends we have this year and what you expect in the future. Anyway, it's been your boy Insane Joe, another video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. All that means the world to me. Catch you on the next video. Peace.